Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're going to jump right into today's show, starting by telling you all about the Connected Caribbean Summit. It is taking place the 5th to the 6th of December in Miami. And we have joining us Junior McIntyre, Chief Program Officer with the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions, as well as Theo Jones, Director of Legal Services, Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions, rather. And they're joining us this morning to talk to us all about this conference. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mrs. Hines, and good morning to our general viewers.
Wonderful to have you gentlemen with us. First of all, I'll start with you, Mr. McIntyre. What is the Connected Caribbean Summit? Tell us what it's all about.
Yes, so the Connected Caribbean Summit is really a special two-day gathering. The event is organized by the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions, the Caribbean Chambers of Commerce, as well as the American Registry for Internet Numbers. Essentially the summit seeks to gather special representatives and professionals, practitioners across three key sectors: the justice sector, the business sector, as well as the public or government sector. So, as you said, Ms. Hines, that the summit will be held on Tuesday, the 5th of December, and Wednesday, the 6th of December, at the Blue Lagoon Conference Center in Miami, Florida. Now, important to note that after the summit, on Thursday, the 5th of December, there will be a special half-day trade facilitation workshop, which will be hosted by the Caribbean Chamber of Commerce. This workshop will conclude with a site visit to the world-class Port Miami, and of course that workshop will be free to all summit attendees.
All right, wonderful. Comprehensive overview of what it is and what we can expect. Mr. Jones, talk to us about the agenda for this 2 days and who are some of the people who will be headlining on those days.
Sure. Thanks, Ms. Hines. So we have a jam-packed agenda. In terms of the headline keynote speakers, we will have the Honorable Philip Davis, Prime Minister of the Bahamas, joining us and sharing some key insights, in addition to Dr. Judicus Jules, the Director General of the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS. And that will be part of the day one plenary session, where we'll have both those two speakers and also 3 roundtable discussions on several relevant topics for Caribbean development, around business, around technology, and other important matters that are key for the Caribbean at this stage. And then on day 2, we will have 3 specialized forums, 3 specialized roundtable discussions, one for the justice sector, one for business, and one for government and policymakers to join together in their respective groups to share key insights on the areas that are relevant for Caribbean development. As mentioned, we'll be touching on areas in technology, dealing with things like the rise of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity threats, and what is really necessary to promote sustainable economic development for our region.
Oh, that's a great deal. That's a whole lot to pack into 2 days, but I'm absolutely sure that you can get through it. I'm going to come back to you, Mr. McIntyre. I know you mentioned a few of the key stakeholders that you'll be targeting, but let's delve into that a little bit more and talk about the people whom you want to come to this conference and how they will be able to make that possible.
Okay, great. Excellent question. So essentially, we are targeting representatives and attendees from across the entire Caribbean and the diaspora as well to discuss our technical future, or we call our technological future in the Caribbean, and essentially to collaborate around strategies and accelerate what we call a transformative development in the region. So the audience really will be focused on government officials, policymakers from Caribbean nations, of course, leaders and representatives from the technology sector itself. There will be a key focus on legal and judicial and justice professionals as well, business leaders, entrepreneurs, investors with interest in Caribbean development, as well as representatives from what we call international organizations or international agencies, of course, academia, researchers, thought leaders, And of course, we are mindful of the NGOs and the civil society groups among us. We also are going to be targeting those groups to be specific.
Well, that's a great deal. And I dare say that you have given yourself a big objective. One which I read is of uniting from technology and justice and business to public sectors, all in aim of devising strategies for expediting transformative action for Caribbean development. Mr. Jones, can you tell us what are some of the things that are top of the table? I heard you talking about AI, of course. That, of course, is the buzzword in terms of what's happening with technology now. But given our region and where we are, what are some of the key and pressing things that you're going to look to work through in these 2 days? I mean, it's limited to 48 hours, and I would imagine you're connecting because that's just the beginning. You'll move forward after. But what are some of the key things you're working to get through on these 2 initial days?
Right. So, as mentioned, yes, as you mentioned, we're dealing with relevant topics like AI, the rise of artificial intelligence, and what that will mean for the future of the Caribbean in terms of being a relevant player in that space. Even though we tend not to think about the region as participating or having a role to play in these areas of high technology areas of like cybersecurity and digital innovation, we believe that there can be no a serious consideration of the transformation of the region and it being a relevant player globally unless these topics are canvassed. I should also say as well that part of this summit's remit is to really bring together a multi-sectoral group of persons to foster collaboration, to harness actionable insights, and to really explore how technology can be a catalyst for transformation. And so we're not just talking about these topics in a vacuum, but what we want to do is to gather persons from various backgrounds who can really speak into and help to chart a path forward for the region to become a serious player. We recognize, for example, that no region, no society can really pursue its economic goals without a serious discussion of how it can engage in the way the global economy is going, and that is largely technological. So.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Just a little anecdotal information. A friend recently shared with me that not even the people who are kind of begging on the street in some European countries are asking for money anymore because they're moving away from cash. So they have the little cash apps and they display their phone numbers and you transfer the money, So, concepts like that are so foreign to us in the Caribbean. It's important that we truly are in line. But when I think about this conference and then of the company that is kind of leading the charge, it begs the question, who are you and what do you do? So, Mr. McIntyre, tell us a little bit about the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions and share what you do exactly.
Okay, great. So the Caribbean Agency for Justice Solutions is a non-profit regional development agency established by the Court of Justice in 2016 to provide a dedicated technology-enabled solutions, essentially aimed at modernizing delivery of justice throughout the Caribbean. We are headquartered in Barbados, but our personnel work remotely in Trinidad, Belize, Antigua, throughout the Caribbean. The agency essentially has pioneered a range of innovative transformational solutions, and offering a range of solutions for the judiciaries, the attorney generals, industrial tribunals, bar associations, legal aid clinics. So really a really diverse organization, offering offerings are geared to enhance efficiency, productivity, and cost savings, and the speed of the service of delivery of service across the region, across multiple sectors. So our solutions are aimed at increasing justice for all, by all, and of course, our solutions have been implemented in courts, tribunals in the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, Barbados, Turks and Caicos. These solutions essentially continue to evolve with advances in technology, as Mr. Jones indicated. And of course, our technology is really adaptive to the changing needs and the evolving needs of the judiciaries and the legal sector that we serve. So we have recently launched two innovative, what we call groundbreaking products in artificial intelligence. ADA, or we refer to as Adaptive Information Discovery Assistant, where we developed ADA to provide judiciaries and legal researchers with innovative AI-based tools for enabling what we call legal research. So ADA is being piloted in the Caribbean Court of Justice as we speak. And we also have Judy, which is our judicial user directed insights. Judy is an innovative artificial intelligence tool designed to automate core tribunal functions, and Judy is being piloted in the Bahamas Industrial Tribunal.
Well, what wonderful developments you've shared with us. And it's great to see that our final appellate court, we've done more than just bring it home, but we certainly are seeing offshoots of what's happening with the court in action to help our Caribbean be even better. Talk to us, Mr. Jones, about what it will cost to be able to attend this summit and a little bit about the registration process.
Sure. So the summit has a registration fee of US $625, and that includes everything necessary. So that includes lunch, that includes all summit materials. As Mr. McIntyre would have mentioned outset, is being held in Miami, Florida at the Hilton Blue Lagoon Conference Center, an excellent venue near to the international airport there. And in terms of registration, interested persons should certainly visit summit.connectedcaribbean.org. Again, that's summit.connectedcaribbean.org. There you'll find all information about the summit in addition to the registration fields, the registration form. And so you can go there, you can find the agenda, you can pay the cost, and we look forward to having as many interested professionals and others who need to be there in Miami.
Well, this is the right time to get started on your registration because it comes off December 5th and 6th. So that's just around the corner. Messrs. Junior McIntyre and Theo Jones, I want to thank you so much for sharing with us this morning on the Connected Caribbean Summit 2023, unique and pivotal, a meeting point for uniting the technology, justice, business, and public sectors to explore and devise strategies for expediting transformative action for Caribbean development. Make sure you save that date and go online and sign up today. Thank you for sharing with us.
Thank you very much for having us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning.